Hey friends, it's Liz, the official craft nerd, and today I have an awesome vintage rustic farmhouse spring DIYs video for you, which is a collaboration with DIY with Amber. So with my first DIY, I am using a couple of items from Dollar Tree. These are some of the round wood plaque signs that they carry, some caulk, and of course the glass candle holders. The beads I did purchase off Amazon, but you could use whatever beads that you have. You can get them off Amazon. You can use the small wooden beads from Dollar Tree, whatever you want to do. So once I remove all the backing and the little staples and everything, I am just going to take my wood beads and I am going to be gluing them down around the bottom of my plaque. Once I have all my beads down, I am then going to glue the top plaque on top. And I'm just giving a generous amount of glue around the top ends of these beads, and then I'm going to place my round on top and just kind of squeeze it together, kind of like a sandwich, and that is all there is to that part. So this is where I decided to get creative and use some of that caulking material to kind of fill in the gaps and the holes in between my little bead wood sandwich thing going on here. And it's gritty, it's not smooth and perfect, but that's exactly the look that I was going for. Definitely fits my style. And once that was done, I am taking some of these old napkin ring holders. These I got, I think, from Goodwill for less than $2, and I am just going to create a base. Now, in the beginning, you did see I had a glass candlestick holder, which was what I was going to use initially, and changed my mind. So I'm actually using this little wooden plaque that I also found as a random find at the Dollar Tree. I'm using that for the very bottom, and then I'm gluing on these candlestick holders to have for the actual base of my cake stand. So what I didn't record was the spray painting of all my wood projects and all my other projects before coming in and doing some touch-ups with my Rust-Oleum paint. And you can kind of see my little oops on the top of that, but it's okay. We're going to put stuff on it anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But here's my favorite part. This is when I dirty it up and antique it up and all of that fun stuff. So of course I'm using my Waverly Wax from Waverly Wax Antique. No, that's not right. Antiquing Wax by Waverly. I'll get it out eventually, guys. And I'm basically just giving it a quick brush over around all the gritty edges, around the beads, everything. And of course, along the top, just dirtying it up. And then I will go down on the base there and get that completely gritted up as well. And when it's all said and done, I really enjoyed this project, only because you see so many different cake stands, you see so many different pedestals, and I really, you know, like putting my own twist on things and using different items to make these instead of just, you know, the same old all the time. And this just really fits my style, and I absolutely love it. So you have to tell me what you guys think about this project down in the comments below. But this is how I decorated it. Just stuck a little gold basket and some flowers, and super pretty. Now, like I did mention in the beginning, this is a collaboration with my friend Amber over at DIY with Amber. And if you guys don't already, you need to check out her channel. She is the cutest, sweetest YouTuber crafter ever, and she makes the cutest things. I mean, from Farmhouse, lots of Farmhouse, and the most amazing wreaths. You guys, she is killer with these wreaths. So please check her out. Let her know that I sent you there. Now on to DIY number 2. This is my second pedestal, and I just wanted to do, again, go a different route with this. Now, this one I do use the glass candlestick holder for, and I had one of these perfectly round wood plaques but I didn't have a second one. So this wasn't going to be a sandwich pedestal like the first one. But I did have these wooden rings that I got from Target. They are in their craft section that they have online, and I believe they use them a lot for jewelry and things like that. But I wanted to just kind of do a pattern around the ends of this. And so I just took 2 different sizes of these wood rounds, or I guess wood rings, I should say, and kind of alternated them around the circle entirely. Once I had them all around my wood circle, I did kind of go back in and reinforce with some more hot glue on the back ends of these, just to be on the safe side. I mean, they were pretty secure and holding up, but you know, I love my hot glue, got to add a little bit of extra on there. So once that is done, I took another ring and glued it on top of my candlestick holder just to give it a little bit more of a base that I can secure my stand on top of. And it worked out perfect. Plus it gave it that extra texture. And I just glued it right down the center of my wood round. So again, this pedestal I did take out with my other projects and gave it a quick spray of white spray paint. But I'm just taking some of my Rust-Oleum in linen and just giving it a quick once over on the top of my stand, as well as kind of going around on the wooden rings as well, and kind of getting in there on all the little areas that I missed when I was doing my spray painting. And of course, once that is done, I am taking my antique wax again from Waverly, and I am going to dirty this guy up. Now, while I'm doing this, guys, I just want to thank y'all for coming. If you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. I really hope you like what you see and you decide to stick around and hit that subscribe button, and definitely make sure to hit that notification bell and put it to all so you can get notified every time I upload new content. And if you are already one of my subscribers, welcome back, guys. I really appreciate you sticking around and checking out my new projects every week. So yeah, I'm doing another brush over on the top of this. You guys, I love antiquing stuff. I can't help it. It is, I think, an all the time thing now with me. I am constantly dirtying things up, making it look older than it is. It's just, it's my aesthetic. I absolutely love it. And of course, you can see me doing the base of that as well, because for me, it was just too white. A lot of times I don't even use my bright white paints anymore. Like, I really like the off white colors, and then I don't know, it just fits me. But you guys, you can make these things any old way that you want, any color, any style. That's the great thing about these DIYs, is you can totally customize them for what you want them for. And this is how this turned out, guys. I absolutely love it. It's simple, it's cute, and it's definitely me. So DIY number 3 is actually going to be these 3 different vases. So I decided I wanted to do some different colored vases or flower pots, or whatever you want to say. So I had this old vase that's been around in my house for I don't even know how long, and it's just been dying for a coat of paint. So I decided to take some of this chiffon cream, and I ended up giving this vase about 2 different coats, just to kind of give it that good coverage and texture that I wanted. And I absolutely loved how it looked once it was finished. Then I went towards this little bud vase that this is actually from Dollar Tree, and you've seen these around. They're like brightly colored with like yellows and blues, but this is one that I did spray paint white first before doing my chalk paint over top of it. And really it was just for coverage sake, because sometimes when you paint glass with the chalk paint, it can be very tricky, and it can come right off as soon as you start applying a second coat, and it can be frustrating. So I decided to give these a good spray down with some just spray paint first before doing the chalk paint over top. I love this color. This is Waverly's Cashew, and again, it is one of those colors that I'm drawn to, and I knew it would look really good with that chiffon cream. And my final flower container, vase, whatever you want to call it, is this texture jar from Dollar Tree. And again, I did spray it with some spray paint initially, and then I went over it again with, I believe, the Rust-Oleum linen. But this part is, of course, my favorite part, the texturing with the antique wax and just giving it that dirty, rough feel. Now, what I don't show is even after I did this, I still wasn't completely satisfied, and I added some of that cashew as well. And these are the final vases, guys. I don't know, these are so pretty to me. I absolutely love how these turned out, and I just love them. Okay, now DIY number 4. This one was fun. This one I really had a lot of fun with. I took I believe this was 11 by 16 canvas that I got from Michael's, and then I took some of these 5-gallon paint stir sticks that you can get in 3 packs from Home Depot for like 98 cents. I think you can get them from Walmart as well for probably the same amount. And again, I wanted to continue using the same color palette that I've been using with all my other projects. So what I'm doing is removing the canvas from this frame altogether. Now I keep it, I'll use it for something later. But once I've ripped that off, I'm going to go ahead and take my wood stir sticks and, or my paint stir sticks, I guess you would call them. And I'm just kind of, lining them up. Now, of course, that's kind of crooked, but I do fix it, you guys. I wanted to line them up just to see how many I was going to need for this particular project, and to see where I was going to need to cut them down, because they were a little bit too long for the canvas itself and the way that I was going to do it. So now I'm not going to bore you with the struggle that I had with this miter saw. I don't use it all that often because it is pretty intense as far as trying to get it to work. Either I'm very weak or this saw is not that sharp, but it just seemed to take forever, and I cannot wait till I get an actual power saw. Let's just say that. But I cut them down, got them the length that I needed, and then from there I'm going to take my sticks and I want to paint them in multiple shades of the colors that I've been using. So first I did about 3 sticks in the chiffon cream, because that is probably one of my favorite colors by Rust-Oleum right now. And then I'm going to do a couple of sticks, I believe 3 more sticks in this cashew color from Waverly, which again, love this color. It is a subtle difference from the cream color, but it's enough that you can see the dynamics between the two. And then of course, I'm going to use the last couple of sticks and cover them with the antique wax, just to give it that pop of a darker color to break up those other 2 very neutral colors that I absolutely love. And real quickly here, I'm just going to take some of that linen color again, and I'm going to paint my frame. Just a quick coat of that, and then I also will distress it just so it's not super clean and perfect, because nothing that I've done so far is super clean and perfect, and that's how I like it. So again, this is something you could change the color, you could make it a darker frame, you could paint it a whole completely different color, but you can kind of see where my mind is with the paint stir sticks in the back, and the way the colors are lined up. That is what I wanted to see with this particular piece. So I am just taking some hot glue and am gluing down my stir sticks to the back of this frame. Now, I will say in hindsight, I would probably go back after gluing and I would actually use my staple gun and staple these down just to make sure that they are 100% secured. Now the wood glue, super glue, wood glue, super glue, all of those, the hot glue definitely work. They still keep it all together. But maybe just if you're going to keep it for long-term purposes, maybe do the staple gun as well. What I'm showing here is just that I'm alternating the stir sticks because they were not long enough to not show a little bit of that dip from the handle. And so I felt like instead of having it just so obvious down one side, have those dips, that I would just switch them out. So that way it would be one after the other that would have that dip, if that makes sense. I know I'm rambling, so I'm just going to stop. So once those are all glued down, I decided it needed to have something simple over top. Really, it could be left alone by itself and be very, very pretty. I really liked it, but I thought I was just going to give it just an extra pop of color. And I had this boxwood wreath that I got from Target for $3, and I'm taking some of this faux leather ribbon from Dollar Tree that one of my subscribers, Grace, so graciously sent to me. Thank you so much, hon. And I'm just going to use it as a hanger for my wreath. Just real easy. Glue it to the back. Boom, boom, and done. This was the final project, guys. This was super simple. Definitely my style. I'm in love with these types of things. So you have to tell me what you think about this one down below. Again, I think this is probably one of my favorites so far. Last but not least, DIY number 5. If you've made it this long, thank you so much. This is a long one for me, guys. I know it. I'm sorry. But I was really excited to do this collab with Amber, and I felt like in honor of her, I was going to try to do a wreath. Now, this girl has been coming up with some amazing wreaths lately, and I've just been blown away. They are absolutely beautiful. And I by no means am a wreath maker. I've tried, I've done wreaths. I don't say that's my niche, but I definitely will try anything and see what I can do. So I already had one of these wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. I think this is a 14-inch wreath form, and I'm just wrapping some burlap around it. This is a ribbon I've had for quite a while, and my reasoning for wrapping it around isn't so much that you're going to see the burlap, but just so I had something to glue my flowers and my floral to, if that makes sense. It's very difficult just to use the wire by itself, unless you're going to do like zip ties, and that's a way to work it too. But I don't know. This time around, I was like, nah, I'm going to glue things down. And what's really cool is the burlap, because it has all those little holes in there, you can really kind of just hide all the stems of your floral. You can just stick it on in there. So I'm using some of this boxwood. I believe I got these bushels from Joann's. Whenever Joann's has floral sales, I seem to get suckered into them, and I am always buying flowers and floral. It's probably an obsession. But I clipped off probably just one bushel of this boxwood from them, and I just started, no rhyme or reason, but just kind of going around my wreath form. And I put a little bit of glue on the bottom where it's sticking into the burlap, and then just kind of bended them around and just place things down. I believe that's what Amber said. She just kind of sticks things down, and that's how it goes. And that's what I'm trying to do here, just seeing how this is going to work. So I started off with the boxwood, and then I'm going to come in after with some florals. Now, I won't have to say too much about this because, again, it's really just me gluing things down. But these florals I thought were beautiful. I got these from Joann's as well. They are this dusty rose color, and it's probably my favorite color right now from the florals that I've got for spring. So I'm just going to hush and you can watch me finish this up. This was the final wreath, you guys. I just added a little bit of twine around it just to add a little extra, but I love this. Tell me what y'all think about this down in the comments below. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe.